Shepard.
Yeah?
I know. You watched me die. But for some reason, I'm a ghost now.
You're dead.
Doesn't matter. Listen, you got 3 options.
Yeah? They're pizza.
Your Paragon option over here. Goody two-shoes, chicken, who cares?
Okay.
Neutral. Don't know why anybody would have that. Doesn't matter. Stay away.
Okay.
Renegade. Only evil SOBs eat pineapple on their pizza. You have a choice to make. This is what it is.
So, I just saved the galaxy, brought millions of aliens all through the universe together, and this is what I get?
Yeah, but I mean, they're all pretty different options.
I mean, they're all pizza.
Okay, buddy. Listen. All right? This whole story is about this big universe. You know what you are? You're a little fart molecule in the entire grand scheme of things. You had a good time. You slept with blue aliens. You had your fun. Eat the damn pizza.
Well, all I get is pizza?
I guess I'll go cheese.
Jesus.
If there's cake?
Yeah?
Well, why is that not an option?
DLC.
Is that coming out soon?
Who cares? I don't know.
Can I order the season pass?
$50. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Geekery Gaming section of the Geekery Collective, and today we're talking all about Mass Effect. And we have a new segment that we are really pushing through the channel called the Gaming Bucket List, where we're hoping every month we can bring you guys a game that is quintessential and something that you must try before you die. And in honor of not only its 10th anniversary, but also in the release of Mass Effect Andromeda, we were talking all things Mass Effect today.
Anyways, Mass Effect.
Yeah. So with stuff like this, people consider it kind of a cheat to have multiple games and like a quintessential game sort of thing. Mass Effect, the trilogy, I don't really think applies because it is
It's all one story.
One whole unique
Right.
experience that was so monumental and like historic for gamers everywhere, and it really is the gaming Star Wars space opera that people just didn't get elsewhere, and I feel like we deserve to have like an entire month of cherishing what was so special about it. The main thing we were talking about when we were thinking of coming up with this video was the fact that they haven't particularly aged that well in a lot of ways, and especially the gameplay. We were playing through the first one earlier,
The first one's probably the worst.
and the gunplay in the first one's like pretty bad.
Yeah.
And
Everything compared to like what Assassin's Creed 1 was.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that bad.
yes,
going
I
back.
will admit it's playable.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's not broken.
It's totally playable, and it really is a unique. The first one's a very unique role-playing game. The other two are just like incredible stories. I feel like they kind of lose sight of the RPG
Well, I think
elements.
the second one really did. And the third one they
Kind of
they
brought
did,
it
they did
back
kind
a
of
lot.
reel it
Yes.
back a little bit. Yeah.
Mass Effect is really controversial because of the way it ended. The ending is like historically criticized for like not being fulfilling to people, and I don't really think we'll go too far.
It's very divisive.
Yeah,
Kinda
too far in depth
controversial.
about what actually happens, but
Right.
pretty much is what it actually makes Mass Effect so special is the fact that it harps on choices that you have to make, and your choices like really do affect the next game in meaningful ways. There are characters that you save or kill off that could save everything or ruin everything 2 games
Well, just
later.
like the second one, I was so hardcore in love with like Liara that in the second one, like when you get to the ship and you have your own like commander's room, you see your photo on there. And if you didn't do that, it was somebody else.
Right.
I think it's such a small little detail, but you're like,
But that it matters.
That's my
And
girl,
it's like
though.
it's not that other games haven't done that before, but never has a game done it this way.
Yeah.
and not overarching 3.
Right, and
games.
connecting all those threads
Like-
and finding ways to do it. It was honestly brilliant.
Yeah.
And the time of mapping out, okay, what if people went this way and this way and this way?
Yeah,
You had
they're
to, like,
thinking of every option.
And I think to just clear the air, we all firmly stand behind the ending of
the
3.
original.
The original canon.
And we criticized the fact that people were so offended by it that they bullied BioWare into making
really,
a new DLC ending. It's kind of what the segment we were
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
joking about before is the fact that art was kind of compromised that day by business, really, and that
Well, really
just,
by the fans.
Yeah.
Forcing their hand. Almost.
Right.
but it was it was just these people who were like, I would never support this franchise, and BioWare knowing that eventually they're going to reiterate more Mass Effect games,
Or
they're
something in that universe.
They're trying to appeal to the fans and like make them happy, but
trying
I feel
not to
like,
burn this bridge, and
I feel like that was the wrong move.
yeah, I absolutely do.
For people like us, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I think just in general, because
Yeah.
it's like if you're going to create art and then change it because people don't like it, like that's
Yeah.
not, you're painting with way too broad of strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had something. Jar Jar in my throat.
No, I totally agree, and I feel like it's good to clear the air with that because I think people getting into the series should know that the ending is not as meaningless as people make it sound.
Right.
It ends a specific way, absolutely ends a specific way, and your choices do carry. I think that whole story. I never felt like that when the credits rolled at the very end.
Even the 3 choices that you get at the end, like I felt like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
even though like the ending one maybe the same at the full ending, but like his choice, I'm like. I was like, it took me like a good 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
to
no,
figure out.
I just stopped.
I went to each
shoulder
one. I
down.
was like, okay, I did this.
weighing the
Like,
consequences.
I did, and I had to, and I was like,
And-
I came up with what I felt was my perfect ending.
6 years or 5 years of just like sticking
Yeah.
through this
In
whole
hundreds of
series,
hours.
and being
Especially
attached
if you really
to it.
went into the first one with the Mako.
Yeah.
I think what's beautiful about the ending is like that's what life is like. It's, you know, like you're presented with all these options, and you don't know like what choices you make will change the rest of your life.
But there's only really one outcome. You
Right.
all die.
Right, exactly. So like regardless of how many forks there are in your path, it goes from point A to point B.
Yeah, our life is a straight line.
It's a story, and like no matter
Yeah.
how you tell the story, you
And
get
all
to-
your choices affect the middle.
right,
Yeah.
and that's the journey, and that's the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
The ending's all the same. You're
Yeah.
gonna die.
Mass Effect 3 specifically, I think, is one of the best examples of how to do foreshadowing in a game, also. I know we joked about in our little skit beforehand that, like, the kid as a ghost, but you see the kid in the beginning.
Of 3.
Of 3. You see the kid in the beginning of 3, and Shepard can't save him. And that's, like, you can't...
That was
It is heartbreaking.
right.
It's heartbreaking. And throughout the entire game, basically, that serves as a foreshadow warning of Shepard is totally going to die.
Yeah.
And I think Shepard knows he's going to die in the game.
To just kind of bounce off that, every Mass Effect has a great opening.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mass Effect 3 was the best.
Mass Effect 3
hands down.
But Mass Effect 2 had a very specific, like a really special opening. But
Yeah, it was the
the power of flying off on that ship, and you're like, "What? I'm not just here. I'm not going to save Earth." And the combination of leaving everything, you're wanting to help, and that kid, and the music is just haunting, and it's unforgettable.
It's devastating to the fact that like you're like I'm here to save. Like it's one person that has like put everybody together to save this universe, and I have to leave.
And it's very bold because games don't start off like that anymore.
Right.
Games don't start off with here's this dark message like you can't save everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, what games really do that these days?
Well, I mean, most games are just like you're in a shitty situation. All right, now here's the opening.
Yeah.
Figure out how to send it. That was like this is like you're starting in a shitty situation that no matter really what happens,
Yeah.
like you can save some people, but like that last mission where like people, your squad can just
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
Like that is
Yeah,
insane.
And
two
you've got-
was
you've
so
got-
important about
Yeah,
that.
and you've got to weigh the consequence of like, you know, the people that you know and love versus like the weight of like humanity.
I will never forget trying that mission
over and over
in the
again,
first state, and I was
Yeah.
like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is going on? I messed something up.
Yeah.
And I really did. And I went back and I fixed all of my errors, and I'll try not to give away much since people who might be watching this might be wanting to dive into it for the first time, but
which you should.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
give Mass Effect 2 your all, give Mass Effect 3 your all. I think all of them deserve it truly is. The more you put into it, the more you get out. It's hard to say for everything.
It's not a
Two is
game
when
to
it starts.
experience passively.
Yeah.
No.
2 is when they really started to give you those like people that you love will die.
Yeah.
Because 1 like
And it
that could
hurts.
happen,
Yes.
but like really 2 and 3 is where they're
Yeah.
like, no, this is how shit happens. Not everybody's gonna make this out.
And I think the main point to make if we're like selling this game to somebody who is like, you know, I want to experience all these important games before, you know, like just in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I think it is, you know, there's only one Star Wars, you know, and you can only watch Star Wars and get that experience from Star Wars. And I really think Mass Effect is that for games.
Yeah.
I really do. It's a universe that is like infinitely like lore filled, like infinitely explorable, and has mountains and mountains of side things for people of, you know, any interest to really fall in love with. And it is a legitimate space opera filled with the politics, filled with the love and the romance and the deception and all of these things that make like a very special story. And again, like we always, us at the Geekery Collective, always really idolize is stories that you can't get anywhere else from games, and that is the core of Mass Effect. It's like it is a space opera that you could never experience in any other way, shape, or form.
Exactly. Like it is its own space odyssey. Like, you know, it's this story that they put out in here is so rich and diverse, and it's something that hits you home. Like the story above all else, it sticks with you.
I truthfully, honest to God, think that the Mass Effect trilogy is the most important saga to come out of that generation of gaming. Xbox 360, PS3, whatever you can play it on. It is without a doubt the most significant, important, because it is just such an advancement in storytelling from what we've had before in games. I just think it is, no matter how crappy that shooting age is, you know, it's still fun. And the whole experience is still fun, and like just all the dialogue is great still. It kind of scales. Like one kind of starts off a little
robotic.
Yeah, a little robotic and monotone, and it gets a little better each one, I think.
If someone is making an argument for like our video games art, I would show them this series.
And this is I feel like this show is really cool because we're filming this kind of on the eve of Andromeda, and it could really go one of two ways. And we were talking earlier, like it could be a gigantic piece of crap.
I hope not.
And
I
really hope not too. And
I have high hopes. I'm trying to knock them down a little bit. Just in case.
And so I would hope anybody who can see this and watch this video is like wants to play through the trilogy before Andromeda, because I don't really want it to be like The Force Awakens for people. I really don't want it to be
a retread.
There hasn't been this huge generational gap, this like decade-long leap in between everything for it to really mean as much. I feel like it needs to be like new, and I think it needs to be like fresh. And that was what always made Mass Effect so cool. Let's wrap things up with saying that this, like we said before, Mass Effect is a trilogy that I think is a complete encapsulation of a time period and an era of games. And if we were to ever pick a quintessential game to play from that era, it would be the Mass Effect trilogy.
Absolutely.
Please, if you have not played it before, you owe it to yourself to go and at least try this trilogy out. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. There is not one single gamer out there who I think would not just equally with Star Wars. There's not one person who's into gaming. I wouldn't be just like butterflies thinking about like I can't wait for you to experience what happens in this story.
Even when that music came on,
it's so
we're
special.
like,
we're like, here
exactly.
we go.
Where it's like, oh, it just puts you in that mood. I mean, maybe it's just super nostalgic for us, but like, I know that nothing makes me feel the way that Mass Effect makes me
Exactly,
feel.
and
Which
that is
something special.
too special to miss.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We were like incredibly pumped to make everything about it, and we hope you like the other videos on our channel. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Like this video, watch other videos on our channel, and hopefully we have more Mass Effect content to release to you the rest of the month. And thanks again for watching, you guys.
Can I pre-order?